All right, SoFi update here on the 7th. So the question is, did we top out today or are we going to be going higher? We nailed this parallel line perfectly today. Is that going to be enough? We basically filled this gap for us to start selling off down here to these gaps. I personally don't think it's going to yet. I think we're probably going higher into a little bit after the election. I'm aiming for somewhere a week or two past the election. Subject to change, obviously. Let's just go over the short-term movement, though, first. So we get this move up. Again, I think that this is an ABC move. Why do I think that? Because we made a lower low down here. So I think this is A, B, C. There's a possibility, and I think actually a pretty good possibility, that this goes like this, though. Maybe a little bit higher and fills the gap up here. But overall, you have a supply zone up here and you have demand down here. The pattern that I'm looking at is WXY. So that means we are currently in the B wave. And within that B wave, we are in the B wave of that. So we have A, B, C down. And I'm expecting that to happen within the next 10 days. So by the end of next week, I think we'll at least have hit 757 to 790. Potentially at the long end, like I said in the last video, 748 is another gap. So basically, I'm looking for this over the next 10 days. Back down here. And you can see here, there's a parallel line. You draw it from right here. So maybe somewhere around 767 by October 17th. And then from there, if this is WXY, it means it's ABC, and now we're making A, B, C, like that. Where are the targets for that? I'm looking at the 1.61 fib here. That is sitting at 995. And I'm looking at potentially 910 to 995 are my targets. Timing wise, this is saying November 15th. So basically, sell off into maybe the end of next week and then start rising into earnings. Who knows? Maybe it's up here around 850, 860, 870, and we shoot up here after earnings. It could be a delayed one too. Maybe this takes a little bit longer than I think. But overall, I'm expecting something up here. Let's see, November. Yeah, right in this range right here. And then I think that's going to be the top. And if that's the top, it's just another lower high. We have A, B, C, D, and E. So this parallel line is probably going to become meaningless, in my opinion. It looks good right now because we hit the top of it. But I think we can actually take it from the top here to wherever this ends up topping out. And yeah, then we get the parallel line from this one right here. This is saying, I would say probably somewhere in early 2025 is when we bottom. So that's what I'm looking at right now. But overall, I think the next month is bullish. They're holding the market up. And we have Robo-Taxi event on Thursday. I think the whole market could be very bullish into that. And so I think that SoFi could go with it into that and then maybe sell off afterwards and start the sell off down here to 790, 760. And then have one more move higher up here to like that, basically. So if you want to draw a parallel line, you can just do, let's see, WX. We can do, it's probably not going to hit the top part of that. So maybe the midpoint of this parallel line is where I'd be looking at right there. So anywhere in that range, gap fill at 850, gap fill at 950. And then I think we start the move down. The market is ready to correct. They're not letting it correct. So I don't know. They'll probably hold it up for another month or so. So expect a small dip after Robotaxi into this zone, and then a move higher after that to 915 to 995. And then if you're smart, you're probably going to be selling up there or hedging at least. You can look here on the standard deviation. This would actually be outside the standard deviation, the very top. Right now, we're at the top of the range. On the weekly, we're getting close to the top of the range as well, but coming up here would be completely fine. Falling down here would be at 3 standard deviations on the weekly, so it would be a little bit outside of normal. But for this to happen, it will take a big market correction. It's going to have to be some kind of huge correction in the market to get it down to 550, obviously. And the only reason I think that that's going to happen is, if I didn't explain this in other videos, this is a very corrective move. These were all corrective moves. Corrective move down. We went that. Then we got corrective move up, down, and now we're doing corrective move. So I would expect something like this to finish off the correction. And then from there, we're up. I'm bullish from there. I am all out bullish from 550 if we get there. Where would I be looking for? I'd probably be looking for a minimum. After this is over with, I'd be looking for a minimum of 15 bucks. Or potentially all the way up to like 20 bucks. I think it's going to break out in a big way after that. So we'll see what happens from here. If I'm completely wrong, I'll admit it on the video and I'll explain what happened and what I think it's doing. But right now, it looks perfectly on track. Expect somewhere between 9 and 10 bucks by earnings or a little bit after earnings. That's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I will keep you updated here later in the week.